Well, Elegoo just announced that the multicolor system for the Centauri Carbon is officially canceled. Shocker, right? Now, who would have guessed that a feature for your printer that doesn't even have a port for would have not worked out? Now let's talk about what happened, because this part is quite disappointing to say the least. But there are some things that we can learn from this. Now, forgive me, I am getting over being sick, so my throat is not in optimal condition to make a video, but I really wanted to get this out. Elegoo announced today that on their blog that the multicolor system for the Elegoo Centauri Carbon is not coming. They pointed out that it was due to some hardware limitations and also that the performance wasn't meeting their expectations. Now, they did end this by saying that there is no release date for the multicolor system, which is basically fancy words for saying this is canceled. Now, this wouldn't be a big deal had they not promised this when the printer was announced. They even said that it was coming in Q3 2025, I think. And as you can tell, we're way past that. And now what's made it a little worse is even recently they removed all of the mentions that there was going to be a multicolor system from the product page like a few weeks, maybe a month back. I could be wrong on the timing on that, but they definitely did remove that. Now, they're not gonna leave everyone high and dry. They are gonna give people 3 options to choose from if you did purchase a printer from them. Option 1 is you can get a $50 coupon on the purchase of $100 or more of filament that you must use within 3 months. Option B, you can extend your warranty for the printer for 1 year, 365 days. Option C, you can get a $80 coupon applicable to the purchase of your Centauri Carbon 2 combo to be released in Q1 2026. That's not okay. Now, I did note that that printer had released in China originally, and when they announced it, and it kind of gave me some uneasy feelings that we're not going to see an update for the version 1 here, that it just wasn't going to come. And one of the reasons I had that gut feeling is the fact that my Wave 3 printer right here doesn't even have a port to connect a multicolor system. How was that going to work? There's no way that they're going to be able to add that after the fact, unless we had to put a whole new back panel on and add some extra circuit boards. And on a side note, the release of the Centauri Carbon 2 in China with the combo system, with the multicolor system, it is a direct copy of the FlashForge 85X. The way that everything connects to the side and runs in through a little feeder section. It looks exactly the same. I did purchase this printer on my own. This was not given to me by Elegoo. I was in Wave 3 after ordering on launch day, so it did take some time to get to me. And even my Wave 3 unit didn't get some of the upgrades that other people got who had printers before me had got. They got the upgraded lighting and some other things, the AMS port on the back. Mine didn't have any of that, and yet my printer was delivered after they got theirs. I thought that was kind of odd. Now, I do like that they were constantly improving the printer as they shipped it out. I think that's really good. It kind of makes me feel like everyone that was in the earlier waves kind of got left out with not getting those nicer features like the other people did. Now, this isn't to say that the printer is bad. There was definitely some issues with it that needed to be addressed and fixed, but it's still a pretty good option for $299 for a fully enclosed Core XY printer. The fact that they were able to sell it at that price was incredible to begin with. But this all comes back to a single thing, that we should not be buying things today for future promises of features. This is what happens when we do that. Now, when I purchased mine, I fully knew that going in, and I kind of figured, you know, if it never shows up, it never shows up. But a lot of people bought this printer because it was going to come. And on Reddit right now, everyone is really unhappy. This was a huge disaster, I feel like, for Elegoo. I understand that they had difficulty trying to make this work for this existing hardware, but man, you shouldn't have promised that if you didn't know it could do it. And you kind of left a lot of your customers out high and dry, and there's a lot of people pissed. Well, crap, I was just editing this video and realized that my mic had died as I was finishing up this video. This isn't a bad printer, but honestly, I don't know if I can recommend it going forward based off of what was going on. And also, on a side note, it's impossible to get replacement parts for this thing. You know, honestly, I don't know if I want to cover the Elegoo Centauri Carbon 2 when it announces. Let me know down in the comments below if I should. I'm really interested to hear what you guys have to say. And Real quick, if you made it this far, consider checking out my Patreon. I'll have that link down in the description below. And before you go, you should definitely check out this video right here where I checked out the Hey Gears resin printer, which is one of my first printers for resin printing, and it was quite cool. So definitely go check that out. This is Adam from the Rad Dad Print Lab, and I'll see you next time. I'm gonna go drink some more tea because my throat hurts.